Do you think if your article had a positive title, if it would have gotten as many views and shares? But actually, I think you pointed out something that's way more important in the psychology of a headline and getting something read is just finding some cognitive distance. So I might write a positive article that here's why drugs are great, and it would be it's not a negative headline, but it's a cognitive distance that makes me go that there's something not right about that. I need to read this. Would you agree with that point?
Yeah, I mean, you can't, a lot of people wrote articles like this election's a great example. A lot of people write articles saying, well, Trump might win if he gets these states, but then Biden might win if he gets these states. Everybody hedges. Nobody says something concrete. People say, well, raising taxes might be good if these things happen, but also lowering taxes might be good if these things happen. It's like the news at the end of the day. Stocks went up because of oil fears, but tomorrow they might go down because of blah, blah, blah. Nobody really knows, but they try to hedge their reasoning as much as possible because they don't know. The people who stand out are the ones who say, no, this is going to happen. We should be worried about this, or we should be hopeful about this because of X, Y, and Z. And so for instance, March, the pandemic started. There was all these articles coming out that were negative. That the New York Times, I think it was, had an article, 140 million people worldwide might die from coronavirus. And the amazing math that they had was, well, there's 7 billion people on the planet and it's a 2% fatality rate. Do the math, it's 140 million. That's the worst math I've ever seen for anything because it can't mathematically be modeled like that. And so for me, what I did was I read all the research. There was research at Imperial College that with all these outrageous predictions, and that's where Fauci first got his ideas. Then the University of Washington had some research that also was missing some basic math. Finally, I saw some good research coming out of University of Southern California, which helped me to understand what was going on better. And then I talked to epidemiologists, I talked to virologists, I talked to economists, and then I explained the good news of what was happening. So then I was able to put something in a positive light, but it also was a popular article because people were being misinformed and they didn't know and they were scared and they didn't want to be scared. And so I was trying to interpret almost like a translator what was happening in the headlines and bring it and explain to the average person who wasn't absorbed in this where the headlines were wrong, where they were right, why it wasn't as bad as people thought. The headlines get paid to scare you. That's how they make money. The more fear, the more money they make. So you have to find other sources where either a source, someone in the middle who's going to explain correctly, or you go directly to the data, which is what I was doing. And then I started doing podcasts every single day instead of twice a week because there was so much misinformation I wanted to explain to people. So that's an example where I was positive, not negative. I didn't say, oh, the world's going to die because of coronavirus. But I said in late March, I said, okay, there's these lockdowns. If they continue past April, pandemic aside, maybe they need to continue, but the economy is not going to be able to come back in the same way. We're not going to have a new normal. We're going to have something new, something different, not a new normal, a new abnormal almost. And that's what happened.